Welcome back to another fun-filled show. I'm your host. He is Blanchard, aka Free Blanche, aka Blanstradamus, aka Blanchy Kruger. Today is going to be part two of the black man versus the welfare system. But I first want to talk about Malcolm Jamal Warner. He passed away, and they said that he drowned. He was with friends and family. May he rest in peace. We know him from Theo, from the Cosbys, and also Malcolm and Eddie. He was a poet, actor, father. But I'm gonna just say this, dear Black people, if you plan on doing something out of your norm, something that doesn't involve a club or a Carnival cruise line or a brunch or a party or a barbecue, a cookout, block party, hookah lounge. Like, dear Black people, if you want to venture out and have like real fun, where you're doing stuff like hiking and climbing on mountains and, you know, looking over cliffs, I don't know, safaris, going to Serengetis, going to the jungle, um, submerging yourselves in rivers and lakes and streams and oceans. If you all want to do those types of things, out of your what they call out of your wheelhouse, you are going to need to have somebody white around you. Um, Going somewhere like that with all Black people is not going to be good. You can get mad that I'm saying this, but when a crisis happens, Black people don't respond like they're supposed to. They pull their phone out, they panic, they don't. When crisis happens around white people, somebody in the white group is going to know what to do. I'm sorry. They're going to know CPR. They're going to know what you got bit by. They're going to know what you got stung by. They're going to know what to do, elevate his leg. They'll even suck the poison out. When a crisis happens, white people are there to save the day. They have a hero's complex. Some say it's good, some say it's bad. But I say when your life is on the line, it's good. Black people have a victim complex, meaning when they see you struggling and suffering, they get in the victim mode. They don't want to become the hero. So if you want to go out there and have fun and do these adventurous things, um, make sure that somebody white is around you. You cannot do this thing with all Black folks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would never go nowhere that was outside of the lounge and the club and all that. I'm taking somebody white with me. Tour guide, something, I don't know. White people specialize in adventure. Anyway, I want to play some things from Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Rich, Jesse, Al. It was Martin, Malcolm, Huey, Alvin, Marcus, Richard, Jesse, Adam, Carla, Gordon, James, Philip, Nat. Showed them not to play with us. Duke, Langston, Thurgood, Robert, Hank, Jesse, Jackie, Muhammad, Paul, Stokely, Mega, Webb. About 3 Benjamins, a good 2 Freds. Women like Harriet, Rosa, Ida, Shirley, Sojourner, Madam, Maya, Mary, Bessa, Ella, and Retta. Even baby Ruby was out here applying pressure. Gail, John, Booker, Sid, George, you nuts if you don't know who he is. Bayard, Charles, Roy, Carter, Cease just for drinking them white folks' water. All kings and queens, yes, for real. Until the ones that we lost, like Emmett Till, and all those is here, we gon' continue to hold it down. Say it loud, Black, and I'm proud.
Yeah, that was something that he did that went viral a few years ago. I see all the comments. Yes, Malcolm Jamal Warner unfortunately, he was obligatory. It's just so unfortunate that Black people get programmed since birth. I believe that to a certain degree, every group of people get gets programmed. Um, yeah, I know he took the jab. I mean, it's just the archetype for what being black is. You got to be a victim. You got to be woke. You got to be. It's just bad. But I just hate the fact that he died by drowning, something that could have been prevented. um, but I know he was around all of his friends and family.
And aren't we all tired of crying about? I am tired of running for shade. And aren't you tired of being hustled and played? And aren't we all tired of crying about how hard it is to be black in America, even if it looks like we've got it made? But freedom has its limits, so here we are, tear-streaked and salt-stained faces. Traces of trauma and pain lace our DNA like our black pride is cut and laced with self-hate, and we still think it's dope. Just like the music we're programmed to celebrate. Can you tell me the fate of the people who consciously take the bait and embrace the very traits placed upon them by their captors who by design are inclined to keep them believing they're second rates? I'll wait.
One of the main problems that black people have is accountability. And you hear it in everything, even in this poem that he wrote. He's not once just saying, he's saying things like programmed and took the bait, when in actuality, what are white people doing to black people? Everything that white people are doing, black people are asking for it. Black people wanted Joe Biden. Black people wanted Kamala Harris. Like everything that white people are doing, black people want it. So this notion that white people are tricking black people is just insane to me. Even when you all claimed that white people's food was nasty, you still wanted to sit in a restaurant and eat the food with them. I think it's time for us to grow up and mature and just say, you know what? We're not getting tricked. We're not being deceived. None of that's happening. We are making conscious choices. Excuse me. We are making conscious choices because we lack character. And instead of going to the lab and building our character up, we choose to keep pointing the finger at white people. And it's just sad and tragic because I know this kind of thinking affects someone's faith walk. You know, our relationship with God is very, very, very critical when it comes to our accountability. So, in other words, if a person is unaccountable, they're not going to be able to have a relationship with God. It's going to be impossible. Anybody I see out there blaming somebody else, I don't care who it is, they don't have a relationship with God. There's no way. Because you wouldn't even think to blame somebody. You'd be thinking to pray for somebody. You wouldn't be thinking to blame somebody. Because you would look at somebody totally different. If you have a relationship with God, there's no way you're going to look at somebody and say, they're the cause of my demise. You're not going to do it. And I really hate what happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner, but it's just sad that his legacy outside of acting is celebrating a bunch of communists. Outside of his acting, he is known for celebrating a bunch of communists. Now, I know black people want to feel connected to this struggle when they're successful, but it's nonsense. It's just utter nonsense. I saw an interview where he said he was talking to his father I want to say his father was either in somewhere in the Midwest. It might have been Detroit or Cleveland, one of them. Anyway, he used to go chill with his dad in the summer, and his dad would make him, it was a book they had. There was a bunch of chapters on all of the famous black people. But anyway, his dad put that seed in him. His father put this communist black Marxist seed in him, ingrained in him. But it's just, I don't know, it's just sad and tragic. I kind of sit back and I wonder which one is worse. Your father putting you I mean, your father programming you with a bunch of nonsense, communist propaganda, or your father not being there at all. I wonder, is your father, what's worse, your father telling you to be black and proud, or your father showing you how to be a criminal? Like, it's just, I don't know which one is worse. I don't. Um, but I'm gonna play his last video, his last live or last video he posted. And then I'm gonna get into the black man versus the welfare system. Zigzag said both. Tierra said both. JV Chanel said father programming you for sure. I mean, I asked that question because I know Paul said one of the same, because I know that a father not being there damages the child's self-esteem. Because in my opinion, what gives the children their identity is the father. The mother is there. The mother's going to nurture them. The mother's going to love them and care for them. But the identity of the family, the identity of the household is the father. That's where children look at it and say, okay, this is who we are. This is how we're represented. And I feel like when the father is gone, it just destroys a child's self-esteem. Where I can speak for myself. I remember my father left when he didn't really, I can't say he left, but my mom had to separate from my dad when I was 6. My dad was alcoholic, abusive, just he had to go. But I remember being idolized by my father. Like, I idolized my father. But it's just crazy that you idolize your father and then you see him for who he really is. And it's almost like, is it better to not have even known your father than to put him up at such a high level and then see him who he really is, and then just your whole world is crushed? I don't know. But when I was listening to him talk about his father, I just thought about which one is worse, the programming and propaganda or the deadbeat father. I don't know. But I guess you all are saying they're both the same. Here goes the last video that he posted. Neek said, my father literally told me I'm going to hell last week. Why would your dad say that, Neek? What'd you say? Why would your father say that? That's a great point. Simulated student said, the right always says we need more fathers. That's not complete. We need men to be righteous, and that way they will stay. Um, exactly. Because I told them the truth. But yeah, but exactly though, exactly. And this really goes into today's video with the fathers not being righteous. And to me, that's the biggest problem in the black community, is that black men aren't righteous. And I honestly feel like the righteous thing for black men to do now is to let a generation perish. I'm being honest. I mean, let a whole generation perish, because what we have going on now is not sustainable. You see, about 20 years they got to perish for 20 years. Um, Still, if you can't go out there and find you, a good black woman, find you a good queen or whatever, but it's going to be hard, because a righteous man is going to have to set a standard. And I'm telling you now that most women, they ain't going for it. Okay. The Bible says when the wicked rule, hold on, that's not the one I wanted to get. Oh, here it goes. The Bible says when the wicked rule, people mourn. A father rules his house for better or for worse. And again, to all the men out there, you got to make the right decision. You got to make the right decision. And to me, you're going to make the best sober decision being, thank you, Zigzag. You're going to make the best sober decision being abstinent with that woman. If you don't have sex with that woman, you are going to be able to see everything clear. There's not going to be any gray, no deception, no gray area. You're going to be able to see all of it. Anyway, but I think the best thing I did in my life was I forgave my father. And to me, that's what brought, everything back around full circle. I remember praying, being as a child, might have been 8 or 9 years old. And I remember I actually prayed a real prayer to God at 8 or 9 for my dad to change his life. And from that time I prayed, it took maybe 13 to 14 years. 13 to 14 years, give or take. Maybe 12 or 13 years. Within 12 or 13 years from that sincere prayer, my dad did change his life. But I will say that the best thing that happened was me forgiving my father and then us being able to have a relationship as adults. And it's funny because when we were adults, I was more like the father and he was more like the son. It was weird. But anyway, let's go to his last video that he posted. This is Michael Jamal Warner.
I'm rocking it. What? What's good? Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. What? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So, find a smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
I mean, it's just sad. It is sad, I pray for his family, his friends. I mean, I know it's tragic. And I believe he really was, a good dude. I mean, he's programmed, but I'm not going to say he was a bad person, nor I'm not going to say that he had bad intent or had a bad heart. And, I realize that people can be good people and still be misguided. It doesn't take away them being genuinely good people. I believe he was a good person. And it's just sad. I pray for his family and his friends. But today's title is the black man versus the welfare system, part 2. So let's jump into it. Do these people look poor to you? Do those people look poor to you? Do they look poor and hungry, disenfranchised? Do they look oppressed? This is 1967. In the heart of it all, this. Do these people look depressed? The guys say they look irresponsible. Nick said they grooving. Paul said no. I'm like, how are these people able to have such a great time in the midst of so much oppression right outside the door. It's just, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
And it begins again. Brenda is 19, unmarried, and she has just had a baby. She's learning to care for him on her own. She's trying to get a job to support him, and she lives with her aunt, who has 5 children of her own.
Now, we see the degeneracy. These women, these black queens, keep having children, and these men keep impregnating them. This is 1967, so we're seeing a rapid decline in the black family. These folks are just having babies after baby after baby, just can't afford the baby, still have the baby, welfare, still keep having babies. So, what was the mind and culture shift in black people? How did black people get to this point from not doing this during slavery? After slavery, they weren't doing this. So, what changed? Who came and introduced a new idea to black people? You know what? You can be a degenerate. You can be a degenerate. Y'all talking about Brenda got a baby. Yeah, she knows she got a baby. The Brenda's got it. And she knows she got it. And she knows she got a baby. Let's continue. Keep having. Now, Brenda has a child at 19, and her aunt has 5 children. No man in sight.
Money was the reason she decided not to marry Kenneth, the father of her child.
I would have married him, for while I was carrying the baby, but he had no job and couldn't support us and his sister getting married. When his sister getting married, so I said, wait.
You heard that? So when it came to you fornicating, you didn't apply logic to that. When it came to you having a baby and having to live with somebody, can't take care of yourself, you didn't apply logic with that. But when the boy asked to marry you, now all of a sudden, that's ridiculous. Now, when he didn't have a job, you was laying down with him. When he was running around doing nothing, you was laying down with him. But when you got pregnant, that boy said, let's get married, and you said no. This is 1967. That boy said, let's get married, and you said no. Now, common sense is going to tell you, if y'all get married, do you think he's going to want to marry you and still not work? Like, I think, me personally, I think he was motivated to take care of you. It's my opinion, Brenda. In my opinion, this young man was motivated to take care of you. And Brenda said, we don't need to get married because you ain't got no job. You ain't got no money. And she knows she got a baby. Brenda's got a baby. And Brenda's got a baby. And she knows she got a baby. Let's continue.
I plan on marrying him next year, no sooner than next year. Have to give him time to work first. What's the sense of marrying somebody if he can't support you? That's his job to support you and the baby. Not my job to support him and the baby. So After he started working, work more than he been working, then I marry him. And I think he's able to take care of two.
So you see, she's dictating the marriage. So we already see that 1967, she's 19. I don't even think she knows anything about feminism, but everything she's doing is feminist. That's how much the culture had eroded by 1967. She don't know nothing about no feminism, but yet everything she's doing is feminist. Let's continue. And she knows she got a baby.
Many of the girls who go on welfare never graduate from high school. A girl who gets pregnant in most high schools is automatically expelled. Usually she doesn't come back. She's on her way to a lifetime of dependence on welfare. The Webster School in Washington, D.C. is a high school for pregnant girls. A psychotherapy session is a weekly part of the curriculum.
When I first found out that I had become pregnant, and when I found out that there was this school called Webster, I thought that I was going to be shut out away from the other people and that I was going to be an outcast. But when I came into Webster, it seems that I had more what you would say, people on my side, more attention going towards my way. And with the help of Miss Gill, and then with the help of some of my good friends here, I seem to be making it and all.
And being here with these girls, they are closer to you. I think that all of us are closer together than girls that have not been pregnant, because they all have their opinions and they can easily say things. But we have, we're all going through the experience.
Mrs. Patricia Schiller is a clinical psychologist. She directs the conversation toward future plans and prospects.
Well, I've got a job. I'm going for an interview today. And I filed for support from the father in the court. And it should be coming through by the time I get back in school in September.
Now, you know that she messing with a grown man. That last one was messing with a grown man because she went to court to put him on child support. It's 1967. So you know the man that she's messing with is more likely an adult because he got a job and she's a teenager. So, but this is 1967, and this girl in high school was putting a man on child support in 1967. Simulated student said this looks like those drama-filled episodes of Good Times. Keeping your head above water, making a way when you can, temporary laid off. D. Eliot says, the Bible says the woman will desire to control or dominate as a result of sin. Eve was the first feminist. That is 1,000% correct. Eve was the first feminist and the devil was the first homosexual. And you see that relationship today is as strong as ever. That relationship today is as strong as ever. These girls are in high school. Somebody said the white liberal. These girls are in high school. So think about it now. Back then, they didn't even want the pregnant girls walking around the school. They didn't want these girls influencing nobody else because, they'll walk around bragging about how good it is to be pregnant. Next thing you know, the whole school is pregnant. So they had to separate these girls from the rest of the school. I remember when my cousin, and this was in the 80s, my cousin got pregnant at 6. She had a baby she got pregnant at 16, had the baby at 17. But my grandparents wanted her to go down south, have the baby, then come back. They didn't want nobody to see her walking around pregnant. They wanted her to come back with the baby. Somehow that fell through, and then my grandparents ended up, getting her an apartment and all this stuff. But No, we wasn't. No, my family wasn't poor, so we wasn't. We don't share the. We might have lived in the hood, but we wasn't. We don't share the struggle. The struggle story. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know nothing about the struggle story. We went on vacation, lived the good life. We was clean. I don't know nothing about the struggle. I don't. But they wanted to send her down south, and then she come back pregnant. Because back then it was shameful to be walking around a teenager pregnant. Even this was the 80s. This is the 80s. Let's continue. And she knows she got a baby.
Long time I was under the firm belief that no one really has any excuse for being on public assistance. But when my grandparents and my father found out I was pregnant, their first attitude was, "We aren't going to do anything for you." And my grandmother told me from the beginning, "You may not bring this baby into my house." Now, she has responsibility for me until I'm 18 years old. I talked to my social worker here at school, and I have talked to people down at child welfare. And it's being made possible right now for my baby's born in September for me to put that child in a foster home and to visit it. And they'll take care of it until after I finish the 12th grade and I'll be 18, I'll be on my own, and then I can provide for my child in my own way. And therefore, I think that it can be a good program.
So you see, the grandparents said, and the father, "We ain't taking care of you because we told you that you was being too fast and not to have sex. We ain't taking care of you." And then she come back talking about they gotta take care of you till I'm 18 out of the house. It's crazy. It's crazy. Y'all gotta take care of me. So again, this type of decay in a culture cannot happen overnight. Meaning that MLK wasn't responsible for all of this. Lyndon B. Johnson wasn't responsible for all of this. This is something else. It was so bad, they had to create another school for pregnant girls. That's what I'm telling you. The pregnancy was getting so bad, they created another school for the pregnant girls. That's how bad it was. Now, did the civil rights movement contribute to the decadency? Yes. The decadence? Yes, it did. But I'm saying that in order for MLK to speak to you and it resonate, there has to have been some decay already. In order for these black activists to have spoken to black people back then and it resonated, there had to have been some type of decay in the culture. It had to have been to even entertain it, because many black folks didn't entertain it. So the ones that entertained it were part of the decay of black culture. And that decay, that decaying part just grew, because that decaying part got all the limelight and all the shine. Simulated students said the pregnant Mexican girls got married to their boyfriends that got them pregnant. Culture. Because it was pressure from the families, both families, for them to get married. Think about it. Them other cultures, if those people, if they got pregnant and they were teenagers, both families would make them get married. It would be pressure from both sides of the family, be like, y'all got to get married, just to make it look decent. It's already bad because y'all done got pregnant, but just to make it look decent, just so that we're not embarrassed, y'all should go ahead and get married. So by the time she has the baby, y'all already husband and wife. Paul said welfare and the lack of God. But let's continue.
Girl drops out before completing her high school education. She finds it difficult to get a job to take care of the baby. In many instances, this would force a girl to go on public welfare. If she
This
gets
is Fabola Gill.
I want you to look behind her and you already see the propaganda. You see Mother's Day, and you see the mother with the little girl right there. They already. So my point is, what they're doing is, it's like it's Mother's Day, but the father is absent. These are subliminal seeds that's being planted. They should have had pictures of families, men, women, and children all over that classroom or school or whatever. It should have been those pictures. And I guarantee it was a bunch of pictures of single mothers or what appeared to be single mothers. They was programming them that early, trying to justify this nonsense. There was no campaign to say these black men were sorry. These black men were not taking care of these women. But then we see cases where the black women didn't want to get married. When I talk about this problem was both sides. You can find videos of black women, single mothers saying back then that they don't want to be married. They don't want the man. They don't want to submit to the man. They don't want the man taking care of them. They want to be free. Even back then. Then you got some black men that were sorry and trifling. So you really had it on both sides. It was truly on both sides.
Is the school's principal.
Which is terrible, and there doesn't seem to be any way out of this for me. She is likely to have another out of wedlock child, and as the babies continue coming, she gets farther and farther down into her state of depression.
Many of our young girls would like to work, and they have tried. They really have tried to support their family, but the system and everything else just tears them down, and eventually they just become satisfied with welfare. They don't try anymore because they see there's no sense of trying until this whole system is changed.
Jeanette?
What I find very interesting is that just think about being an employer and you see a woman and she has multiple children and she's not working. As an employer, do you think she's going to be a good candidate for your establishment? Just at face value, she comes in, let's say she has 3 children. She wants a job. Do you think she's going to be a good employee? I mean, honestly. Because what the woman just said was the principal of the school was very telling. She says that they have the child, they drop out of school, they can't get a job, and they have more children. So again, we see a cultural decay that is severe. How is your recourse for action for not getting a job to have more children? Like, if you can't afford the one child you have, what in your mind is saying, I'm going to have several? Like I said, there was already a severe decay in the black community. Well, Tierra said it, more children, more welfare. So let's be honest when we're talking, and that they're not just having children because it's just a byproduct of lack of education. There is an incentive to have a child if you're going to get more money. If you're going to get more money for having a child, then when you have sex, you're not going to be cautious. You're going to let him shoot the club up, or I guess back in that day, shoot the juke joint up. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
Salters, a welfare mother, works in Head Start and receives a small supplement to her check.
You know, people talk about the ADC mothers don't want anything. They're not going to ever get anything. This is the same feeling that they have. They have tried and they want jobs, but nobody's going to give them a job. And the first thing they holler, well, you on ADC, you know, and you don't have any experience. And how can you have experience when you're just coming out of school? And nobody's willing to try, you know, to give them a chance. And I'm beginning to believe, and so are most of the parents, that people want you on ADC. They like you there. You know, they can control you on ADC. And a lot of them just feel, well, I might as well sit here and get what I can. And they do have to cheat and lie and steal and to try to beat the system and try to just survive, not really live. Most of them are just surviving.
Welfare
Again, What are the likelihood of a person that is irresponsible in their personal life making a good employee? They all keep talking about the system, the system, the system, but we see today how bad people are at these establishments. Customer service is horrible. If we go out, think about it, go somewhere today, go out and see how bad the service is when you go out. It's horrible. So back in those days, you think about it, how you lived your life mattered. Like back in those days, you could get a job just for being an honorable person. You could get a job just for being a good person. Like you could get a job just for being honest. Like back then, your character was better than a resume. It was better than experience. You say, that's John's son. He a good, like that's how people got jobs back then. But if you show up on welfare with multiple children, why would I hire you? Why would I hire you? The system didn't make you live with Pookie. Exactly. Did nobody make you live with Earl Ray, Johnny Lewis? Did nobody make you live with them? Fred Parker? Did nobody make you live with them? It's just funny to me that y'all want somebody to hire you, but nothing in your life says you're going to be a stable employee. Nothing. Y'all know good and well these women would have had 1,000 excuses why they couldn't work. 1,000. You all know good and well they would have had 1,000 excuses to why they couldn't work. A 1,000. Where was I at? Let me go back.
Immediately, we are calling for a well-planned, systematic, economic boycott of downtown Homewood. We will hold sit-ins. We will hold die-ins and vigils throughout downtown at the doorsteps of your businesses. Your commerce will feel our grief because we refuse to allow anyone to spend one more dollar in a city where black lives are expendable. This is a crisis in the city of Homewood, and we call you to accountability. What we demand tonight is immediate full public release of all things concerning Jabari Peoples. We demand the name of the officers involved in the shooting. We demand a formal apology from the police chief, who the family has not heard from, and the mayor acknowledging systematic racism in the Homewood Police Department. What spirit is leading you if you have not spoken up on this issue? What God are you praying to if you have not spoken up on this issue? Oh yeah, note given. Y'all know the governor, the love child of Bull Connor, and an unrepentant George Wallace. Give her a call tonight and tell her this is not the only city we're coming for. We're coming for legislation.
And again, as we see, this is the baby of civil rights, welfare state. Now, I don't know who the mayor is, but when you all say that there's racism, not you all, but when people say this, they're only saying this to appease black people. How do you know something? How do you know somebody is racist? Tell me. Tell me unless you have a police officer saying, I'm doing this because they are black. I'm doing this because they are black. Jabari Peoples, I don't know much about what happened, but apparently I guess he got shot by the police. I don't know. I think this is Alabama. Yeah, he was killed. He was killed last month. He was shot and killed at a park in Homewood. I need to look this up, but I don't have time today. But my point is, so now they're going to go down to downtown Homewood and they're going to protest and do sit-ins and mess up people's businesses. Now think about it now. They were doing this back in the 50s. It is 2025. So we're talking about almost 75 years later, black people are doing the same thing. And this is my question for black people. When is the problem going to be solved? Because in 400 years, y'all should have evolved into a new species by then. Y'all should have wings and be able to do all kind of spectacular. In 400 years, y'all still do a lot. It is 2025, and this man just ran down doing sit-ins and dine-ins and all this kind of crazy, like we in the 50s. Yes, and using God. And at the end of the day, I'm going to look into this Jabari Peoples situation, but I guarantee what Jabari wasn't doing is something constructive. I guarantee he wasn't at home doing his work. I guarantee Jabari Peoples wasn't doing something constructive. I guarantee it. I guarantee he wasn't doing something where he was building or adding something positive to something. I guarantee it. When the police came in contact with him, I guarantee he had no business doing what he was doing. So I guess the boycott at Homewood is coming. 75 years later, and black folks doing the same thing.
You already know what time it is. You feel me? Straight up, bro. Straight the fuck up, too. We don't want straight like that. I'm being serious, too, bro. That's it for y'all.
We're going to turn this gas station into a community station.
Today you going to be shut down and you never opening back up. You got my word. I need you to look me in my face. We're making sure that shit. You got my fucking word. I ain't playing with y'all no more, bro. You feel me? This shit is too much. The first time it should have been over with. It should have been done the first time. Definitely not going for this type of shit, man. This bitch should have been closed, bro. We done with this thing. It's not opening up no.
Okay, let me start over. So apparently, the New Era Detroit shuts down gas station on 6 Mile in the Lodge. Gas station clerk shoots at man with mental illness for allegedly stealing $1 worth of stuff out of the store. Now listen now. So the solution is not to stop stealing. The solution is to shut down the gas station / liquor store. So the solution is to inconvenience everybody for one person that can't stop stealing. This is black people. This is the problem with socialism, because you feel entitled, like somebody owes you something. This is the welfare baby right here. This is the entitlement. You want this man to shut down his gas station because y'all can't stop stealing. And this ain't just one incident. Y'all are always stealing. And the crazy part is he's shooting at y'all for stealing, but y'all shooting at each other for nothing. He's shooting at y'all for stealing, but y'all shooting at each other for nothing.
You already know what time it is. You feel me? Straight up, bro. Straight the fuck up, too. You don't want straight like that. I'm being serious, too, bro. That's it for y'all ass.
It is. We're going to turn this gas
Nobody
station
playing
into
with y'all
a
no more.
community station.
Today you gonna be shut down and you never opening back up. You got my word. I need you to look me in my face. We're making sure that shit. You got my fucking word. I'm not playing with y'all no more, bro. You feel me? This shit. It's too much. The first time it should have been over with. It should have been done the first time.
Sometimes you take the second round. That first round, you take the second round.
Remember, y'all. Come on. Come on. I ain't got time for this shit. Hey, two at that entrance, two at this entrance. Y'all know what time it is. Every entrance right now. Every entrance. Where I grew up with.
You know what I find amazing? Look how organized they get when the store clerk shoots at somebody for stealing. But when they spin the block every day and somebody dies, they don't do this. They don't do this. Let's look up the homicide rate last year in Detroit. Detroit homicide rate 2024. Let's see. Let's see. Detroit, Michigan, in 2024, we had 203 homicides. In 2023, we had 250 homicides. I guarantee you won't find a single video of these guys doing this on each of them blocks where them young black men are getting killed. Guarantee it. Guarantee this. Two on that end, two on. You won't see none of this with all the homicides going on in Detroit. We're talking about in 2 years, 2023, 2024, we're talking about 454 homicides. Make sure I got it right. 453 homicides. And I guarantee not one time you will see these men doing what they're doing at this gas station.
Oh, standard, bro. Definitely not going for this type of shit, man. This bitch should have been closed, bro. We done with this shit. It's not opening up no motherfucking more. Standard, bro. Standard. Ain't nobody up in no pistol at nobody over no merchandise, dog. That shit is a violation of our code of ethics. And for that reason, man, these niggas is done, bro. We're not playing with this gas station no more, bro. 6 Mile and the Lodge. This bitch done. Bro. This is the biggest problem why I'm so frustrated. Business we done been to.
Now, where is all this cooperation when somebody gets shot? You want to talk to the police about the Arab man shooting some mentally ill person, but now you want to talk to the police. Normally you don't want to snitch, but now you're talking to the police when it comes to the Arab man. Now you want to shut down the gas station. It's a violation of code of ethics. You hear what he just said? It's a violation of codes of ethics, and y'all done had 203 homicides last year and 250 homicides a year prior. You're talking about a violation of codes and ethics? The black man is weak. The black man is pathetic. If we look back at the black community and we look at all of the death and destruction and damnation that has happened in the black community, the majority of it has been black men. This man wants the gas station shut down, but he doesn't want the mentally ill guy to stop stealing. He doesn't want Pookie to stop spinning the block. He don't want nothing else to change but just that dude having that gas station shut down. So now folks got to go somewhere else to get their gas, go somewhere else to get their stuff out of the convenience store that they need, maybe emergency stuff they might, just inconveniencing everybody because somebody can't stop stealing.
We told them, if there's ever a situation where somebody acting disorderly, they stealing, they take, give us a call.
He said if somebody is doing something they're not supposed to be doing in your store, don't call the police, call us. I don't think you all realize what the world would look like if black people were in charge, were in charge. I don't think you all understand. You are getting a taste of what black folks being in charge is in these cities where they have all these black folks in the government, in the local city government. You get a taste of it. Even when black folks ain't fully in charge, it's still chaos and death and destruction. Could you imagine if America was ran by all black people? Communism, globalism, man, you ain't seen Marxism, you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing until you seen some black people running the country. Free speech. Yeah, right. Equality. Yeah, right. Constitution. Man, the first thing black folks would do is burn the Constitution. If black folks defeated this system, the first thing they would do is burn the Constitution. They come up with a whole new set of rules, and I guarantee all men will not be created equal. I guarantee it.
Departments claim that they want to encourage marriage and thus get women off the welfare rolls. But the investigation of a woman's eligibility for ADC discourages the beginning of any relationship with a man and marriage.
Well, if he's someone who is sincerely interested in you, you would like perhaps to invite him to dinner. You would like to, maybe he would like to spend the day with you. And if this happens, and you have a neighbor who particularly don't care for you, then the welfare department will hear about it, and then they suppose that this man is living there, or that you are supporting him out of your funds, you're feeding him with your funds, or if you claim you're not feeding him out of your funds, then their answer will be, then he's giving you money.
And she said, oh, we can't do.
I told you that's another white woman on welfare. And I told you that the issue was taking care of the grown man with the funds from the government. That was the issue. Or the man being in the house and y'all finessing the system. That was the issue. It wasn't because they were trying to break up the family. The goal was for you all to be married and not get on the assistance. You ain't got to be on welfare. Get married. Trust me, the economy would rather have you married than have you on welfare. You are a much bigger economic boost if you are married. Buying a house, buying a car, going on vacation, doing stuff with your children. Like you are a greater asset to the economy than you are being on welfare. I'm sorry. So again, the reason why they implemented this is because y'all were doing exactly what they said y'all were doing. Moses came down with the 10 commandments because everything on those 10 commandments y'all were doing. He didn't just make it up. He observed what y'all was doing. He said, you know what? Y'all can't do this. So the reason why they came up with it was because y'all had men staying in that house and he was sorry and trifling and y'all was taking care of him, or y'all got slick, and y'all was getting extra money and food stamps and assistance, medical, all that. That's what was happening. And ain't nobody going to take your food stamps and your welfare away because you dating a guy. Stop. That it ain't that serious. Stop. But let's continue.
Can't have a boyfriend. We don't allow that. And I wanted to know why. And she said, because it doesn't look right, with the kids. And so I said, I still don't see why they have anything to do with me with a boyfriend. And she said, well, you'll have to get rid of him. You have to make plans to marry him. And I told her I wasn't getting married. I wasn't ready for it. I had just got out of one. And I said, now, look, you're going to tell me, here I am, 37 years old at that time. And I've been married, got 5 kids here in the home, and had been married to this one man for 16 years. And you're going to tell me I can't have a boyfriend? And so she said, well, we doesn't lie the 80-some others with boyfriend. And I couldn't understand that. So she left. When she left, well, then she come back to tell me that my case was denied. This is what happened. She come back to tell me that they had denied me, that I could not get on the aid.
If a man marries you, that he should, take on.
Again. So you talking with the woman and you arguing with her about how you gonna have a man. So she's telling you, wink, wink, you can't have a man in the house. The man can't live here. Here you go. Why can't I have a man in the house? I'm gonna have me a boyfriend. I'm married 16 years. I'm finna let somebody let me. Denied. She trying to help you out. You arguing with her. I'm gonna have me a boyfriend. You ain't finna deny me. I lost my teeth too. I ain't finna lose my teeth and be lonely. No, ma'am. So again, denied. It got denied because you ran your mouth. That's why you got denied. Y'all talking about the tooth fairy. Boy, y'all crazy. Oh my goodness. Y'all out of control, man. Oh my goodness. Y'all gotta be stopped, man. Let's continue.
Initiative of supporting your family. And, to tell a man that makes, $125, $135 a week that he should accept me and 9 kids and support us is crazy. Because, realistically, I would feel that if I married a man in this position, that, it wouldn't take but maybe 6 months. If it took that long, he would begin to resent my kids. He would hate me, he would beat me and he'd scream at the kids. He'd start beating the kids out of frustration. And, maybe it wouldn't be because he didn't love me and the kids, but because he was, being deprived of, just having, a pair of shoes on his feet and proper food for himself, for kids that he wasn't responsible for. And this is, thinking realistically.
Ma'am, the fact that you have 9 children means you don't want a man. The greatest indicator as to whether or not you want to be single is having 9 kids out of wedlock. That is a sure way to drive away all men. As a matter of fact, if a man get with you with 9 kids, he's up to no good. He's doing the will of Satan. A man getting with a woman that has 9 kids is to me no different than worshiping Satan. It's wicked, it's evil, and nothing good can come from that. She talking about he gonna grow to resent me, resent the children, beat on me, beat on the kid. Ma'am, no. Any man coming to be with you is coming to do some harm. Because ain't no way in the world. You ain't even, let me not get into it. Okay. Right, Paul. She probably get beat just for that. Cyber Dream said the blacks before us didn't really do that good. Listen, you all are seeing the decay in the black community in the 60s. We're seeing it in the 60s. Talking about 9 kids.
In Cleveland and elsewhere, very little economic incentive exists for women to get off welfare.
They would like for you to go out and go to work or even seek part-time employment. But if you do this, then most of what you make is taken away from you.
They receive only a small part of the extra income if they work. The jobs which they can get rarely offer very much more money than the welfare check itself. In a pilot project in Cleveland, they are allowed to keep only enough to bring them up to the state's welfare minimum. They are encouraged to go to school and get training, but even after training, good jobs are scarce. Beverly Siegel, a Cleveland social worker, visits Mrs. Fanny Brooks, who has left a Title V job training program to care for her children.
One thing I wanted to talk to you about today is the fact that you'll be going off of the training program. And now that you're going back onto ADC alone, it will be cut back, to regular ADC, which will be $92 difference. And that's quite a bit of difference. And it's going to be difficult, I imagine, to get used to living on that type of budget again.
Yes, it will be. But I would rather have a small amount and have peace and happiness and harmony in my home than have a lot of difficulties and different problems. I didn't choose this position that I'm in, and I wouldn't want my kids to do it for nothing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Today itself, too late. The wise.
So you heard what she said. So when she dropped out of that program, that cut her aid by $92. Because again, the goal was job, I guess like job placement, job training. So the program that she was in, they were incentivizing by giving her more money. Her leaving that program, she's going to lose $92, but she's claiming that it was more problems with more money. How? And then she says, I didn't put myself in this position. Ma'am, you had the, yes, you did. You had the children. So you see that she didn't want to be responsible. She didn't want to work. You heard what she just said. I'd rather have peace and happiness with less money than to have more stress in the house with more money. Who will be causing you stress? The children are still going to be the children. I'll tell you who. It was some man up in there. It's a man floating around somewhere. The same man they try to keep out the house is the same one got you back in the house with less money for your children. She didn't choose the position, but you steady having children.
Man did yesterday. All right. You want to try that one for us, Mr. McQueen?
Leroy McQueen, who is getting his high school diploma and hopes to go into computer work, is a welfare father on a training program. It's a myth that the welfare rolls are filled with able-bodied men. Less than 1% of those on welfare are capable of working. In 1962, realizing that ADC ignored men and tended to break up families, Congress passed the ADCU program, Aid for the Dependent Children of the Unemployed. Mr. McQueen worked in a print shop for 7 years. One day, the shop went out of business. Mr. McQueen could not find another job. Shortly after he went on welfare, Mr. McQueen's wife died, and he was faced with the prospect of raising his 5 children himself. The welfare department gave him a temporary professional homemaker.
Good reader.
What? Did y'all hear what he just said? This man they brought a person in, a professional homemaker. This man that lost his job, his wife died, and he living his best life. He got a professional wife to come in to cook and clean. Man, come on. Y'all talking about racism? Y'all have the audacity to talk about racism. This man lost his job. His wife died. He couldn't find a job. Now he got the government taking care of him and his kids with a government wife. He got a professional homemaker to come in and take care of him and his kids. On top of him getting money from the government. Come on, y'all. Racism. Let's play it again. We gotta play it again, y'all. I gotta play it again. I have to. Racism
Program. It's a myth that the welfare rolls are filled with able-bodied men. Less than 1% of those on welfare are capable of working. In 1962, realizing that ADC ignored men and tended to break up families, Congress passed the ADCU program, Aid for the Dependent Children of the Unemployed. Mr. McQueen worked in a print shop for 7 years. One day, the shop went out of business.
You see how many black men in that class? You see how many black men in that class? He's like, hey, cat. Hey, daddy, listen. Hey, daddy-o. They got a cool thing going on down there, man. Real smooth. Listen, dig this, Jack. I lost my job. My wife died. I was real down, man. I had 5 kids to raise. Man, I went down there, filled out that paperwork. Man, I got a new wife coming from the state. They paying for my medical, my food, giving me money. Man, this is the best deal anybody can have. Man, what you do? Man, turn me on, you jive turkey. I want some of that too. Listen, man, I got class tomorrow. Come with me to class. And man, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is crazy. This is crazy. They gave this man a wife.
Mr. McQueen could not find another job. Shortly after he went on welfare, Mr. McQueen's wife died, and he was faced with the prospect of raising his 5 children himself. The welfare department gave him a temporary professional homemaker.
Good reader.
They gave this man a temporary professional homemaker. Do you y'all talking about racism, and the state done gave this man a wife. The state done gave this man a wife. Her job is to come in and be the wife and the mother.
Maybe you'll have some more sometime, huh? You still don't want any water?
A midday snack is water and Jell-O. Now he remains on the welfare rolls as he gets an education. He has the added burden of raising a family.
Hi. How you doing?
He does the cooking and cleaning up himself.
Guys, no! Not so much noise in there. Not so much noise. Come on, eat. Gregory, you ready to go? Gina, Stevie, come on, eat.
Dinner is usually beans with some ham hocks, and as in most welfare homes, no milk. Almost all starches, little meat.
That belongs to Regina, Reginald. She doesn't eat very much, you know that.
Mr. McQueen's dilemma is compounded by the fact that he must find help for his children while he is at school or work.
This man talking about he got a dilemma and he don't have a dilemma. When he's at school doing what he's doing, that he has somebody taking care of his children. And then when he gets done, he comes home and take care of his own. Like, dude, ham hocks and beans, black folks eating that now. Black folks eat that now. Ham hocks and beans and bread and corn. That's a normal meal now that black folks eat. He talking about almost all starches and very little meat. You look in most households with a bunch of children, they're not feeding children no good diet. You look at most households with 5+ children, excuse me, a lot of stuff that can be cooked in bulk. That's what you do when you have a bunch of children. You cook in bulk. You're not going to separate. We finna have 5 steaks. Come on. You're not going to do that. Whatever go into a pot, what we going to eat. So whether it be some soup, some stew, some lima beans, some green, whatever goes into a pot that can feed a lot is what we're going to do. You know when black folks make spaghetti, it ain't the Italian spaghetti. It's not the spaghetti that they make with the noodles separate from the sauce. When black folks make spaghetti, it's all going in a big pot. You know why? They got to feed everybody. Do this man look impoverished to you? Do these kids look malnourished? He look like he's struggling? He got a perm in his head. He has a perm in his head. These children are not neglected.
Drop the baby, don't let it, huh? Take your time, it'll cool off.
Mr. McQueen has...
And he's smoking cigarettes. Who paying for them cigarettes? Is welfare paying for the cigarettes too? Who paying for his perm? Who is paying for his perm and cigarettes? That's what I thought.
Many problems. He lives for the day when he can earn enough so that his children have proper meals. The day when he can provide for his family adequately. When he can relax with some assurance about the future.
How many roads must a man walk down?
The electric guitar is in and out of the pawn shop, a reflection of Mr. McQueen's financial fortunes.
And how many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? And how many times must those cannonballs be fired before they're forever banned? Oh yeah, let me tell you that's the answer, man. It is the in the west. The answer is going in the west.
And what's crazy is not only do they not look neglected, but he actually has a beautiful, these children are beautiful. Like these children are beautiful and they're full of life. They like, I'm like, what about this situation is so terrible? I'm trying to figure it out. Like they got electricity in the house, they clothes, they got electric guitars, daddy got a perm, like they living a good life. Like this ain't a bad life. This is not a bad life. Angel Wing said the ghetto. But at the end of the day, though, this like the story they're painting that these children are being neglected. They're not being neglected. This is what it looks like when you're raising 5 children in the city as a single parent. That's what it looks like. Is that what it is, Tierra? MLK said the white man had better stuff. I'm just like, I don't know. This man's family is beautiful. I'm sorry. I ain't saying it's the best, but it sure ain't close to the worst.
Come on, baby. You want to sleep? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Want to go to bed? Yeah. Okay. Lay down. Yeah. No. I'm in.
Today, Mr. McQueen does not go to school because the homemaker didn't show up. His children play in the backyard.
If I could get a housekeeper, this would help me more than anything else. Just someone to clean the house. Cooking I do generally most myself, but even then, well, the right person cooking right, I could stand that, I think. But I think mostly what we need here is just a person to be in the house and help with the cleaning and getting the kids off to school. You know, now that I go to school myself and giving them their lunches, and I could take over in the evenings.
In the past.
But we're gonna stop right here on that note because this almost says something. Y'all are telling me black people are oppressed, and this man, it literally asked for a housekeeper. He literally asked for a maid. Y'all are telling me that this man is oppressed and struggling and all of this, and this man literally asked for a maid. He literally asked for somebody to come in, do some cleaning, get the kids lunch ready, get them off to school. Like this man is literally saying, I need a wife to come in, but also has a person coming in. Now she didn't show up that day. I don't know what happened. I don't know if he did something. It was the fire. I don't know, but she didn't show up that day. But my point is that this guy has somebody coming in when he goes off to school. He has somebody coming in taking care of these kids until he gets home. Literally a live-in wife provided by the state. And y'all want to convince me that America's racist. Y'all want to convince me the white man is evil. This man is on TV in 1967 saying that he needs a maid. He didn't say he needed freedom. He didn't say he needed equality. He didn't say he needed civil rights. That man said he needed a maid in 1967. It's a cold game. Don't let this cold world get you down. Don't let this cold world.
Consider yourself a black man?
I mean, I'm
Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Don't let this cold world get you. I'm trying to find.
All they've been through. Is there any group of people given?
Many blacks today, egotistically and really naively, take pride in the fact that they belong to a race that they believed laid the blueprint for how activism should be done in America.
Our generation was not good business people. That's not what we did. We were good civil rights people.
We've always been the glue that kept this country together.
They do this for no other reason than the fact that the presumptive head of the civil rights movement happened to be a black man, Martin Luther King.
Stanley Levison was always in his ear. Always in his ear.
Levison was a secular Jew who was committed to the idea of social justice. He wrote everything that MLK said publicly.
I have a brief statement that I will read.
His sermons have been published in book form under the titles Stride Toward Freedom and Strength
He
to Love.
ghostwrote every book and article published under King's name.
Dr. King knew that Stanley was a communist, but since he too shared in Levison's Marxist sensibilities, he was all too willing to accept the leadership of Levison.
This time I have the honor to present to you the moral leader of our nation.
Our leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Our leader, Dr. King.
Our leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Dr. King was our leader.
He was a pastor, right? Marxists wrote King's speeches so well that even conservatives were duped.
The I Have a Dream speech, right? One of the great speeches in American rhetorical history.
He supported these ideas, particularly of the founders and the Declaration of Independence.
Reverend King, I'd like to prevail on you in behalf of my wife, my 2 young daughters, and myself, who are trying to operate a business here to encourage your nonviolent army to peacefully solicit some other property other than mine.
I'm not going to be begging to give you my money. If you look at your Bible in the book of Corinthians, 11 people will not ever enter the kingdom of heaven, and one is extortionate.
We have some dear white friends here who are with us, and we want to eat together.
What's the extortionate? Uses stress, intimidation to get what they want. What was the civil rights movement?
Freedom only comes through consistent agitation.
Threats, coercion.
Just giving the Negro an equal break is not enough.
I'm going to bring the government down here and put a gun to your head.
We still have Martin Luther King holiday in America. Every major city has a Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Now, I want you to think about the video that we watched. And I think, when was King assassinated? When MLK, was it 67 or 68? Yeah, April. So the following year, from this documentary, King was assassinated. And based on what you all are seeing in this video, what kind of legacy did he leave in 1968? Forget the 80s and the crack era and all. What did he leave in 68? Because we see in 67, this is horrific. And we all know that the greatest indicator of MLK's legacy is what happens on MLK Boulevard. In any city, when you see MLK, somebody gonna die. Think about that. Think about, in any city in America, when you see MLK, somebody's going to die. Somebody's gonna die. Somebody's gonna have an abortion. Woman have an abortion. Somebody's not gonna have an education. Somebody's gonna be homeless. Somebody's not gonna have a job. Somebody's gonna get robbed. Somebody's gonna commit a crime. Somebody gonna die of some diabetes or cancer. Like, just think about MLK and think about what happens on MLK.
Downfall of blacks has more to do with a mindset shift that was brought about by political rhetoric than anything else.
The civil rights leaders were making us believe as black folks that white ice is colder.
We are waiting for the MLK project from Chad. I think it's going to be excellent and it's going to be necessary. Chad, and then guest starring Chuck, Teachum Chuck, and Vince Everett. Where's Ellis? Thank you, Cruise Missile, for the super stick. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Willie Doc, thank you so much for the super stick. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Louis Harper, good stuff. Keep doing that thing you do. Thank you so much, Louis Harper. I really appreciate it. And again, the problem that we're having, and I see this all the time, is that we're not having a honest conversation that's being heard from both sides. If both sides are allowed to speak on any issue, nobody will be emotional about it. If both sides are allowed to talk and they're honest, nobody's going to be emotional about anything. Context removes the emotion. And so we're having these conversations about what happened to Black people, the state of Black America, and we start talking about what's the cause. Was it the civil rights movement? Was it the welfare being removing the man from the home? Was it slavery? Was it Jim Crow? Was it segregation? Was it, did I mention the crack era? Did I mention democratic policies? Like, when we start pointing the finger, what happened to Black people was self-inflicted. Because everything that destroyed what we call the Black family, Black people willingly participated in. Even if you say that slavery was forced on Black people, everything out after slavery was voluntary. So for the past almost 200 years, everything has been voluntary. Everything. Black people have chosen their fate. Thank you so much. I got to read two scriptures. Thank you so much, Angel Wings. I got to read James 14 and Galatians 6 and 19. Quay said, I believe Black Americans are obsessed with butt and race. They're super disgusting. And I agree with her. Black people, Black women, I might even say Black men, Black people are obsessed with the physical appearance, specifically the butt. They're obsessed with it. When I go out, when I say you Black women be showing they behind, I'm talking about be showing they behind. Now I'm seeing, well, I take that back. You see Black women showing they behind in a sexual way, and you see Black men showing they behind in a sexual or / thug way. So both Black men and Black women today in today's times are showing they behind. But let me go to you said Galatians 6 and 9. I already had that pulled up. And we have Galatians 6 and 9. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we not faint. James 4 and 14. James 4 and 14. Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanished away. So again, we are here today and we are gone tomorrow. Nothing is promised. So all we can do is trust in God Almighty and not become weary in well-doing. Top Herc said, but Blanche, the Anunnaki got bigger butts. Somebody said black males, not men, showing everybody their panties. Well, I'm gonna say this, right? And then I'm gonna go. When it comes to what you care about, you give attention to. So the fact that there are all these podcasts on the airwaves not right now, and their number one topic isn't the destruction of the black family. I'm not talking about blaming the white man or the government. The destruction of the black family by black people. The fact that that isn't the number one topic on every podcast lets me know that the black men that don't have their pants sagging are condoning the black men that do. The black women that don't show their body to the world are condoning the black women that do. Because the number one topic on all these podcasts should be what happened to the black family. That should be number one. And the fact that black folks talking about everything but that lets me know that black folks don't really care. Because the abortion, black women lead the nation in abortion, black men lead the nation in homicide. Every podcast should be about them two subjects. What is causing that? What has caused that? Blash, would you ever have a convo with Angry Man? Yeah, I would. I like Angry Man. He cool. I like Angry Man. Yes, the main topic is dating. And talking about dating is a topic that's to be talked about way down the road. So right now, we can't even get to dating because the character between black men and black women is so poor, we can't even discuss dating. We got to deal with person in the mirror. So we got to talk about how black women can become better women and how black men can become better men. Dating is way down the road. You know, black folks love skipping over the main topic and jumping to dating. Most black people are not prepared to date. They're not. Black people date in a very toxic manner. Most black people don't date to marry. Black people have the lowest marriage rate in the country and one of the lowest in the world, if not the lowest. 30% is very low. So black people in dating shouldn't even be discussed because black folks aren't dating to get married. So what are y'all talking about? Foolishness. We got to address the character, the cultural character of black people. That has to be discussed. We can't get to dating. Dating is way down the road. The women can't be still and the men are weak. We shouldn't be talking about dating. There should be about a 10-year freeze on dating and procreation in the black community. It should be a halt. 10 years at least, where we stop dating, stop procreating, stop it all, and focus on this lack of character in the black community. Today is Prudence' birthday. Happy birthday, Prudence. I'm trying to verify. I want to say happy birthday to Prudence. Hope you have a wonderful birthday. May God bless you tremendously. And we love you. Listen, y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in today. I love y'all. That's my time. And I will see you all again on Thursday. I thank y'all so much, and I'll see y'all soon. Thank you. Love y'all. And give a hand to Angel Wings and the Goddess Navi. Thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Yes, Nikki, especially dating advice that's not rooted in God. But guess what? If the podcast dating advice were rooted in God, they wouldn't be popular. They wouldn't be popular. But listen, love y'all.